Hi guys, welcome back to another programming tutorial. Today we will be doing a LeetCode question on data structures and algorithms. It's gonna be squares of sorted array, and so we'll be doing this in Java. So yeah, let's begin. So first of all, I'm gonna write the problem statement. Let me just X this out here, and yeah, so let's look at the problem statement. It says here, given an integer array nums sorted in a non-decreasing order, return an array of the squares of each number sorted in a non-decreasing order. Okay, so now that we've done that, they're giving us some test cases, examples. So basically what we have to do here is they're asking us to take an integer array and then sort that integer array and then square every single number into it. So basically, like here in this example, we have -7, -3, 2, 3, 11. So what our algorithm is supposed to do is square every single number in this array, take the squares and put them in order. So in this case, if we square 7, we get -7, we'll get 49. Same thing, we'll get 9. But you see these, if we square these values, they won't be in order. That's why what our algorithm also has to do, we also have to sort the squared values. So yeah, let's do that. So I'm gonna go here. So first of all, what we want to do is we want to have an output array with the sorted squares. Don't try to just straight up go to the square the values straight from the nums array and then just put it return that array, because that wouldn't work. We need to return a separate output array. So let's create one. Int sorted squares, spell this, squares array is equal to new int array, and then we'll set its length to be of nums dot length. Okay, now that we've done that, now what we want to do is we want to loop through our nums array, and each time we get through a number, we want to square that number and sort it. So let's do this. So here, I'm going to use a for loop. Int I is equal to 0. Then we'll say while I is less than nums dot length. And then here, then what we're gonna do is, after that, let's increment I, and yeah. Okay, so now what we want to do is store the value that we got as we were coming from the array. So int, we'll store it in an int, value is equal to nums index I. Alright, so now that we have the values of our nums array, now we want to square them and get those squared values and put them in our sorted squares array. So what we're going to do is here, we're going to do sorted squares array index I will be equal to value, and then since we want to square it, we'll do value asterisk value. Alright, now that we've looped through our array and squared them, we still have to do one more thing, which is sorted them. So we can use, to sort arrays, we can use the arrays class, arrays.sort, sorted squares array. So this is helpful because then we don't have to make our own method to sort. We're already provided with one in the arrays class. So yeah, now that we've sorted our array, so now, well, up until this point, we've looped through all of our values from the nums array and squared them and then sorted those values. Now all that's left to do is return sorted squares array. And let me just make sure it didn't, yeah, it's spelled wrong, squares array. Okay. Okay, so now before we run this, I just want to remind you the time and space complexity of this. I'm just going to put it in comments here, so then if you need it. So the time complexity will be O of log n log n, and space complexity is O of n in where n is the length of the array we are given as input. And then here's time complexity, alright, and space complexity is, yeah. Okay, so that's the time and space complexity. And before we submit, let me just give you a quick overview of what's happening in the code, so then you can get a bit of more understanding. So first of all, what we're doing is we're initializing a new output array that's nums.length. That's its length will be nums, the length of the input array, nums. So now that we've initialized that, then we'll have to loop through our nums array, so then we can get each value and square that value. So we did this with the for loop, stored the value, and then here squared it. So sorted squares array index I. So basically we're initializing sorted squares arrays values as the squared values of this. So we're basically squaring value times value. So this will basically square each input in the sorted squares array. Alright, and then lastly, now that everything is squared, we still have to sort our array. So here we'll do that with arrays.sort. And then lastly, we just have to return our newly sorted array. So yeah, you can pause the video and take a further analysis on the code. But anyway, let's run this. So I'm gonna click run code. And note that there are ways to optimize this, but I won't go into detail with that in this video. Anyway, so it looks like our input was accepted, and so now let's submit it and run it against their test cases. So it's running, and yeah, awesome. So it says the input was a success, their submission was a success. So yeah, anyway, this was sorted squares with LeetCode in Java. And yeah, before I end the video, I just wanted to let you guys know that I know that I've been posting a lot of data structures and algorithms videos. Those, like, I did two-sum, linked lists, binary trees, but I'll letting you guys know that I will be adding more variety. I have some more few tutorials planned out in the future with different languages, and yeah, so until then, like and subscribe if you liked it, and if you found it helpful, share it with other people, and yeah, bye. See you till the next video.